All right, here's episode 3 of my self-commentary of my live stream mix that I mixed this last Sunday. If you missed any of the other videos, basically a quick little backstory. A few weeks ago, I decided that I would just, right in the middle of mixing, I grabbed my iPad and just started shooting video of myself. Just basically what you're going to see here in a second. Hands on the console, mixing. And then I decided to just grab the live stream mix and combine those two together and just do a self-commentary on it. So if you want to see the raw figuring it out footage, go check out a couple of my other videos, specifically the first one. I mean, I literally just turned the camera on and went for it. So I'm kind of figuring out what I want to talk about, what I want to do as these episodes go on. So this is episode 3. I've gotten a lot of really positive feedback from a bunch of people on the first 2 episodes. So I'm gonna basically kind of roll with the feedback and continue on. I'm gonna keep making adjustments to how I package these videos. These videos are going to be, I'm going to try my best to keep these around 15 minutes. I'm going to pick one song, 1 or 2 songs from the service, one of the services, and talk about my mix, and just talk about sound in general, talk about what it takes to be a good professional church sound guy. So anyway, if that's interesting to you, then stick around and we'll kind of nerd out a little bit and talk about all kinds of stuff. Okay, so a little background about myself. I work for a company called Sound in Church. It is kind of what you think it is. We do audio, video, lighting, installation, training, consulting, all that kind of stuff. We're in churches literally every single day. So I've got a lot of experience working in churches, working with sound techs, pastors, worship leaders, all that kind of stuff. I do a lot of training on consoles, things like that. So I spend a lot of my day doing this. So I figured, why not start making some sort of video about it? So part of my work, part of Sound in Church, is we have a subscription program. And that subscription program basically is if your church needs a lighting guy or a sound guy or a production person or a tech director or a worship leader or a musician or whatever, we have basically different levels. So, for example, the church that I'm currently mixing at basically says we need a sound guy every Sunday forever. So they're on like the top tier because you kind of you pay for basically how much you need. If it's a one-off Sunday, then it's a certain price. If it's 2 or 3 or 4 or indefinite. So we've got a handful of churches that do, or a handful of techs that go out every single Sunday on the indefinite program. And so I'm one of those techs, which if you live outside of Oklahoma and Texas, you might think that's weird. Because down here it's just a different vibe than it is in other parts of the United States, but, it's been really successful and, it's been awesome. So, there's a much bigger backstory behind the church that I'm currently mixing at, but, we'll save that for a different video. So anyway, basically what happened was I did all these trainings and I'm always showing people how to mix. I'm always, we do like a big party where we put in a new sound system or we've tuned it up or we've done something, or we've added a new console or we've put in-ears on stage, or we've done something, rewired the front of house, whatever it is. And then a lot of times we like to invite the worship team in for a practice on let's just call it a Tuesday night at 7:00. And the band's on stage and the whole tech team's back at the booth and we're just having a good time. We've got guys on stage helping the band. We've got I'm usually in the back talking sound, all that kind of stuff. We have a great time, and I've been doing that for years, and it's been awesome. But lately, I've been able to pull people next to me while I'm mixing a service, and be able to sit down and explain to them live like what's happening here. This is how I mix reverb. This is how I mix vocal delay. This is how I compress vocals. This is how I compress a snare. This is kind of, my workflow. And that's kind of turned into these videos. So that's where it all started. I was at a worship night at my home church. Afterwards I started talking with the sound guy him and I are friends. And he was asking me about his mix, what I thought of his mix, and that sparked a big, long conversation. And I was like, hey, next month, I'm going to be mixing at Mosaic Church, which is the church that you're going to see here in a second, I think it was a Tuesday night. I said, why don't you come and just hang with me at front of house and ask me anything you want. Let's nerd out. Let's have fun. And so he did. And it was awesome. And so that kind of really sparked these videos. So Jay Sanders, if you're watching this thing, I'm going to send this video to you. So you're going to get this link. So anyway, let's talk about the video that let's talk about the live stream that we're getting ready to watch here. So, yesterday morning when I was, today's Monday, Memorial Day. Yesterday at morning at church, there was technical problems. I mean, let's just get real for a second. If you're a tech person at a church, you're probably run into technical problems. You don't just go years without any sort of technical problems. Yesterday morning, the technical problem was that the in-ear rack, so you've got a rack of in-ears, so you've got a body pack that you wear. That's what the musician wears, puts the in-ears on. But the source has to come from somewhere, right? So you've got a transmitter somewhere, probably in a rack. And so we got a rack of transmitters that distribute the audio to the musicians. Well, one of those power supplies decided to go out. And of course, we didn't have any other power supplies with us. So we had to kind of scramble, and it was kind of last minute, and we made it work, and everything ended up being just fine. It was the drummer's pack, and he had to go grab a totally different mix and remix it on the fly, and it was fine. But that leads me into, I know we're getting to the video, and we're already at 10 minutes. These videos are not going to be 15 minutes. At least this one isn't. So that leads me to this point. This is a very important point that I share all the time. As a sound guy, you have the ability to create an atmosphere in the room. And it starts with practice. If the band feels like the sound guy has their back, then the practice is going to go better, which is going to translate into the worship service going better. Because whatever's happening on stage, guitar players are missing wrong notes, the tracks are screwing up, which happened first service yesterday. The iPad that they use for tracks skipped a song. It doesn't matter. I mean, it matters, but if the band feels like the sound guy has their back, then it translates into a better experience. The band feels more comfortable. Imagine this. If the band feels more comfortable, how do you think that's going to translate into the worship experience? They're going to be more open and freer to play their instrument, to sing with their voices, to interact with each other, to present a better musical experience, which is going to translate over to the audience, which means the band is worshiping, the audience is worshiping, the experience that's happening in that room is magnified, and it all starts with the sound guy. At least that's my belief, and I've tested this theory hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times. So you, if you're a sound guy, you have the ability to create a better worship experience for your congregation. Hands down, guarantee. You have to figure out a way to take your personality, the band's personality, bring it together. In my case, I like to make jokes. I like to have a good time. I like to kind of break the ice with fun and humor. But you find you and create a warm, inviting atmosphere for your band. So anyway, I've talked way too much. So let's put the headphones on and let's get into this. Song here.
And Father, we trust you.
Okay, so I'm immediately bringing down Moises' vocals,
and our desire just to be like
because
so that's why
I have to create levels. If I start his vocals up here and the band is down here,
who can make us,
then we don't have a whole lot of dynamic range to go. So band is here, it's a lot of pads, things like that. So I bring the vocals down here. Now we've got all this room, because you know the song's going to go somewhere. You know the song's going to take off. Tapping out some delay. Finding that sweet spot between reverb and vocal delay. You can hear a little vocal delay in the background. All I'm really working on is vocals. Oh, looks like I'm bringing down, I think Logan's guitar a little bit. Mixing downward. Mix downward. If you hear something that's too loud, bring it down. Don't think the other way. I can't hear something, so I need to bring it up. If you start doing that, you're going to start piling on top of each other, and then your mix is going to get out of hand. Yeah, I'm bringing the guitar down. You hear that? You hear that guitar over on the right? So he just said, everybody sing along. So you hear Brittany over here on the left. I purposely have her a little bit hotter in the mix to help the congregation sing. Because Moises just said, everybody sing along. So I got my left hand on the vocals, my right hand on the effects. Looks like I just brought Brittany back down, because now we're not in the sing-along. We've gone to the verse. So I sat her kind of where you still hear her, but she's not like way up there. I'm just riding vocals. I'm intently listening right now at the vocals. I'm trying a new angle, by the way. I haven't figured out a good angle to show you guys what I'm doing here. Too much vocal delay there. Did you hear that? Adjusting drums. Looks like I brought the toms down just a little bit. There's not a whole lot of band right now. There's a lot of drums and not a whole lot of band, because we're in a down, kind of a down chorus. I think we're in a chorus, right? Yeah. I get lost. I don't think verses, choruses. bridges that much, I think of, okay, what's going on here? Who's playing what? Who's doing this? Who's doing that? Okay, so right here, the bass player is gonna play like some long, sustained notes. Boom, boom. Right there, here, long sustained. Long sustained. 6 minor.
Just pray this with us.
That sounds like 2nd minor. 4, 5. I'm assuming. Yeah. 6 minor. Anyway, that doesn't matter. But what matters is I've got compression on that bass, specifically attack. So a wave file goes up and then it tapers off, right? So it's boom, right? So I wanted to, this peak right here, I wanted to just shave that peak down just a little bit. I wanted it to be more like boom, instead of boom. And so it sat better in the mix, and I could pump the bass a little bit more without having these bass peaks, because I attenuated down that attack on the compressor just a little bit. Acoustic's way too loud right now. Moises' acoustic, I don't know what, I'm not paying attention. I'm mixing the vocals. Sometimes things escape me. Here we go. I think I'm bringing acoustic down now. I think I heard it. Tapping out delay. I do that 5 or 6 times during a song. The audio is a little off from the video, and I'm not messing with it. This is literally the live stream video file. I'm not touching this at all. I'm literally just listening to it. The only thing I've done is sunk up my video that I shot of myself to the live stream mix. So what you're hearing is literally a file right out of the live stream computer. Looks like I'm taking a video. I'm not sure what I'm doing. I'm not paying attention. I'm missing all kinds of, and now I got my hands. I like those long, okay, so we're done there. I like those long drawn out notes because I like to sprinkle some vocal reverb at the end, or I mean vocal delay, so they kind of oscillate out. And I wasn't paying attention. I was doing something. So, anyway, episode 3. These are a lot of fun. And we're at 20 minutes. I can't, although I didn't actually start right away. So maybe it's more like 15 minutes. So I'm going to continue to make these every single week. Hopefully these are beneficial. I had, one more thing. I had, a sound guy call me, or I called him, or he texted, whatever, yesterday. And he was like, bro, I love what you're doing here. And if I can free up a way to not mix on a Sunday, can I come over on a Sunday and sit with you? And I said, absolutely. So if you're in the Oklahoma area and you want to come nerd out, then message me, because I'd love to have you. And I'd love to talk through what I do and stuff like that. Also, ask me questions. Now, I initially did this 3 weeks ago just for myself. I wasn't even going to upload these to anywhere. I ended up uploading the first video to YouTube so I could share it with some friends. After I did that, I just started sharing it because I thought, wow, why not? I'll just throw it out there. Maybe somebody will get something out of it or whatever. And now people are liking and subscribing and commenting. So if this is beneficial to you, hit the like button, subscribe, all those things that you hear every time you click on YouTube, everything that everybody says. Everybody says the same stuff. They like to say smash that like button. I don't know why they say smash, but whatever. If you find this beneficial, do all the normal stuff that you do on YouTube and leave a comment. And if this is Facebook, same thing. Leave a comment. If this is on some other platform that I put this on at some point, do whatever you got to do on that platform to interact with me. But yeah, until next week.